I have finally finished Harrow the Ninth. It took me 15 days to read this 500-page book, which is actually way longer than it usually takes me. The first book in the series, Gideon the Ninth, took me about 8 days to read, and I still felt like that was a long time. This took me forever to read, but I still think it was a really good time. I'm so grateful to those of you who commented on my last video about this book and told me to keep going because honestly, it does get way better, especially towards the end. The last 150 pages were really fast to read for me. I had such a great time. I was so surprised. This was a lot of fun. Because I had a bit of a reading slump-ish towards the middle where I was considering DNFing this book, I can't give this book more than 4 stars, even though I think it's phenomenal and I'm really glad that I finished reading it and I'm going to continue in the series. The fact that I had to even ask the question, should I DNF this book, lowers the star ranking down to 4, unfortunately. But I still think that this was a really fantastic, fun read, and I'm really glad that I finished this book. As I said, for its predecessor, Gideon the Ninth, this is a very dense story, and so I think that's part of the reason why it takes so long to read, and I don't recommend this for everybody. If you're a person who likes reading really dense content, then great. But if that's something that's going to put you into a reading slump, don't do it to yourself. It's still a really good story. I'd also like to amend, back when I was commenting about Gideon the Ninth, I said that this book, despite being described as a lesbian necromancy, really wasn't about romance. And while that remains true, I believe this story is actually going to probably be an incredible slow burn. So I will say that I think that that title of romance does have a part to play in the series probably as a whole. I don't think there was any spice in this book. It still is dark. There is still like difficult scenes to get through, and I would recommend this for an older audience just because of how confusing and crazy everything goes, as well as the level of descriptive depiction of scenes that happen. I feel like if a high schooler tried to read this who doesn't know that they love dense writing, this is gonna put them into a reading slump. Honestly, probably Gideon the Ninth would even accomplish this. I don't know. I will say, I love the narration from this. I love Gideon's voice so much. Harrow's voice isn't bad at all, but the comedic element that we see in Gideon the Ninth is a bit less for Harrow the Ninth. It's just because she's a different person and a different character. This is also probably the first book I've read that is in second person, which shocked me. When I first started reading this book, I thought maybe the reason that the author was using second person was to help us get closer to Harrow. As you read, you figure out why that's the narration style that's chosen. And I can officially say that I read a long, dense book that's in second person. I don't think I was able to say that before. So I really enjoyed this. If you loved Gideon the Ninth and you're in a slump with Harrow, keep going. It is worth it. Overall, it's a great read, but really make sure that you know that you are a dense book reader because reading slumps are so hard to get out of. And so I don't recommend plummeting anyone into them. Next up is Nona the Ninth. I'm so excited to figure out what the heck this story is going to be about. The one very consistent thing about this entire series is I never have any idea where the narrative is going to go and where the story is going to develop. And I do like that surprising element of this. Of the people who told me to keep going and keep reading Harrow the Ninth, they also said that if I loved Gideon the Ninth, Nona the Ninth, the narration component would fit very well with people who loved Gideon the Ninth. I really hope that's the case because I would love to get more of that kind of narration style again because it was just so amazing. So I'm very, very excited to read Nona the Ninth, and hopefully I can read this a little bit faster. This book is a little bit shorter than Harrow the Ninth by like 40-ish pages, 30, 40 pages. So hopefully I can get this done faster than the 15 days it took to finish this one. And this will be the last published book that I will read for this series, and I will patiently wait for book 4, whatever the heck that means. So that was Harrow the Ninth.